Today we're going to be starting off our spooky season. I know we're a little late, but we're going to be starting now. And we're going to be talking about Goosebumps, Werewolf of Fever Swamp. One of my favorite videos from that time period. I have it on VHS here. I'm going to see if I can... Usually it's on the rack there. Let me run downstairs and see if I can grab it. Okay, it should be down here somewhere. Oh my god, this place looks like shit. Grandma must be hitting the booze again. Where did I put that here? Is it this one? Grandfather clock. Why do people still have these? It feels weird that people even still have these in their house. I don't know, my grandma's a dumb bitch. It's probably here. Perfect. Werewolf of Fever Swamp. It isn't really Halloween unless I watch this for me. I mean, I have all the Goosebumps movies. This one I probably replayed the most. And I mean, I could go back upstairs and watch it, but I have a feeling we should watch it down here. Come on! Grandma's couch. The comfiest place for any alcoholic to sit. Just like I remember. Okay. Now welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Like I said, today we're going to be talking about Werewolf of Fever Swamp. When I tell you that this tape was an important piece of my childhood, I really can't emphasize that enough. I mean, like I said, when I was younger, I had Werewolf Fever Swamp, Welcome to Dead House, and Night of the Living Dummy 3. Huge. Year round, it was always amazing. But I figured since we're in the spooky season, we might as well talk about it today. And I know that I said that Stay Out of the Basement's my favorite one. All right, I get it. But honestly, the Werewolf Fever Swamp always holds a very near and dear place to my heart. I will say I do think it's the scariest of all the Goosebumps one. But without further ado, Werewolf of Fever Swamp.
You will be waiting. You're in for a scare.
So Werewolf of Fever Swamp starts off like any one of the Goosebumps specials, which the specials are Night at Terror Tower, Welcome to Dead House, Stay Out of the Basement, Night of the Living Dummy 3, and Werewolf of Fever Swamp. I might be missing one, but it always starts with R.L. Stine giving his coveted nice intro, which the man has been 103 since 1998. Don't know how it's possible, but he has.
Grandparents love to be scared.
After the nice intro, we start off with a nice panning shot through the swamp. Ooh, spooky. Then the camera pans and we see the nice dilapidated house that our protagonists have just acquired in this mysterious spot. They don't ever really tell us where the swamp is at, but you'd have to assume that, I mean, I'm guessing the South, but it's weird because they're Canadian and there's Canadian accents, but they're in the South. I just wanted them to say the town name and the state, zip code. Give me their socials, is what I want to have. But with the dilapidated house being shown, the mother says, wow, this is a great space.
What a great space.
Which is pretty funny because the house looks like, it looks terrible. It looks like utter shit. It looks like they took tons of tea bags and just rubbed it all over the wall. People look like they've shit on the floor. We're first introduced to our main character, Grady, when he looks at a stain on the wall and he says, that looks like a giant blood stain, Mom.
It's a blood stain?
And she's like, no.
That's just, dry rot.
What could it, they were having chocolate fights in here whenever they last left. It was, people had buckets of diarrhea, Grady, okay? You don't realize what this is, okay? Jesus. But, you know, Grady's kind of a little son of a bitch who doesn't really like the new house, which who doesn't, dude? If you moved countries, which you'd have to assume because they're Canadian and now they're in the South, Grady's pissed. He's like, dude, why the fuck did we have to move all the way here? And why? Because the mom and dad are deer scientists.
Well, my parents are scientists. They're studying how the deer will adapt to the swamp.
Is that a thing? I don't know. Today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, it's the fall season, things get a little colder, a little darker. I know my mind starts to slip. I mean, I start getting into weird ruts of making videos and wondering how they're going to perform, and I get all anxious and I get all in my head and I have really no one to talk to. But BetterHelp is a great way to find a catered therapist for you. Don't let all these feelings just stay boxed in. You know, you have to express yourself. You need to get out there. You need to have positive mental health, and the only way to do that is by talking with someone. Going through therapy is a great thing. I've done it before many times, and even BetterHelp has given me options of being able to find someone who's right for me and being able to kind of digest and understand the things that are going through my head, which is really nice. So if you're struggling with some of these issues like me, consider going to therapy through our sponsor today, BetterHelp. Click the link for a 10% discount on your first month of therapy with a licensed professional, or go to betterhelp.com/papameat. Thank you for BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. But first, we get our first big scare. Grady's sister screams, and the mother and Grady run into the bathroom to find the sister being tormented by a corn snake.
A little corn snake.
I don't know why, but it always fucking like triggered my ass when I was younger when the dad picks it up and he's like, oh, it's just a little corn snake. My biggest phobia on earth is snakes, and I don't like how you said it. I just don't like how the dad says it's a corn snake, and then you hear Grady with his fucking nasally ass voice, which Grady, I'm pretty sure during the entire shoot, I think he had to have had a summer cold. He's like, corn snake.
It was a corn snake.
It's like all on his nose. Corn snake. So the dad gives his son the snake, and he says, go free the snake in the swamp, which feels excessively far, when I feel like he could have just put it outside and it would have been fine, but no, we're gonna go to the swamp. Go put it all the way down in the swamp, son. Nothing bad's gonna happen, I swear. Go to the swamp, son. Kind of makes it seem like the parents are trying to set up to kill their son early on, if I'm being completely honest. The snake obviously isn't real. It's a little fake snake, and it's kind of funny. Grady's holding it, and it's all curved up. Like they definitely just went to a prop shop and bought it. And when he sets it down, he kind of just does like a... Just kind of throws it down on the ground. It's like all stiff. Be free, snake. Be free, spirit Halloween snake. When he's down in the swamp, we start hearing all kinds of weird animal noises, which I don't know what in the hell they used for the Foley for these like swamp sounds. Whoever directed this has never been in a swamp. Kind of sounds like the sound that they have, it sounds like a dying panda mixed in with like some kind of like Tibetan flute. It's very odd. I don't know what they were going for there, but it does sound creepy and mysterious in this very feverish swamp. On his way back home, Grady gets lost and starts having a panic attack, which is really funny because I feel like, what is he, 50 feet away from his house? He's like, wait, that's not where I'm supposed to go. Wait, how did I get lost? It's like, dude, walk back up the fucking hill. You dunce. Good God, Grady. Oh yeah, and then to calm himself down like a true shell-shocked veteran, he was like, I'm not lost. I'm not lost.
I'm not lost. I am not lost.
You can probably see your house if you just go up the hill, Grady. Get up there. This is where we're introduced to the swamp hermit, aka the Down syndrome man that lives in the woods in the swamp. He doesn't say a single word. He looks like he's high on meth, which when I was a kid, it scared the living shit out of me. Honestly, thinking about it now, to come across an old man, presumably homeless, in the forest who's not saying anything and his eyes are all tweaked up, it freaks you out. I mean, honestly, it puts you in a pretty fucking crazy mood.
I was crazy once.
This is definitely, out of all the ones that Goosebumps movies I've seen, this one definitely has like a lot of the creepiest shots, but we'll keep getting into that as we go on. Grady's back home safe and brushing his teeth with his sister, and they complain about living in this hellhole. And the sister, she finds a little spider in her face cream, and Grady gives a nice because he's brushing his teeth, but he's laughing. But he sounds like a chimp. It's kind of funny. Cut to Grady awkwardly throwing away boxes. He goes to talk to his dad, who's working on the fence with all their experimental deer. His dad is like dressed up like a mixture between the nerd from the Lost City of Atlantis and Indiana Jones. And it's like, just because you're a deer scientist doesn't mean you have to dress up like Dr. fucking Who, dude. Grow up. Okay? The experiment that they're conducting too for this, that they uprooted this kid, his childhood, which also Grady isn't like the youngest kid. I'm pretty sure his sister is like 16. I think Grady's probably like 12. It's like he definitely had social circles. He definitely had some kind of social group and activities.
But you had lots of friends where you came from.
Yeah, like 20 right on my street.
Friends that he probably desperately loved, and they uprooted his entire life to see how these deer would re-enter a new environment such as a swamp. Does that really sound like research that seems that important to uproot your family? Also, is there no other place like that? Like, does it specifically have to be a swamp? The dad is giving Grady this nice big long spiel. He's just like, you see these fucking deer, Grady? They don't like it here now, but pretty soon they're gonna love it here, and so will you. Then he snaps the pliers in front of Grady's face, which he actually does do that.
So are you.
This is where we learn that the inbred swamp man who attacked Grady is a hermit who lost his family years ago.
He lost his family a while ago, and ever since then, it's been a little strange, but he just lives off the land, doesn't harm anybody.
Which, were they hermits too? Needless to say, the dad really doesn't care. He's like, people say he's harmless. God, Grady, who cares? But we cut to night. Grady is messing with the TV trying to get a signal, which really he's doing the thing. He's being a little snot-nosed fucking little rat. His parents are on this like prehistoric laptop looking at the tiniest screen. His parents get really pissed and they're just like, Grady, get the fuck out of here.
Grady.
There's nothing to do here.
But we introduce a new problem here where the parents are, I'm assuming, using Wi-Fi to look at some kind of data on their laptop, yet Grady can't get signal to the TV in the house? Unless they're just like, look at this document we made. His parents scold him for being an annoying piece of shit, so he sulks and goes upstairs. But the next morning, Grady plays catch with himself outside. This is where we get introduced to our newest character, the inbred swamp child that lives next door. His name is Will. And Will picks up the ball and starts talking to Grady about his mom and dad and brother and sister. Basically, Will, who has the flattest face known to man, comes up. He's dressed like a fucking country bumpkin. He says he lives next door. You know, he's like, oh, wow, is this a potential friend? Can it get me out of this hell? I hate my family. Instead, he says, hey, do you want to play a game of catch? And Will's like, no, I don't really fuck with, baseball.
So, you want to play catch? You got a mitt?
I'm not much for baseball.
Baseball. That's boring as shit. Let's go shoot guns. Let's go shoot a whore in the street.
I've got some targets out back. You've got a BB gun, don't you?
And then Grady says this, which I fucking hate when people say this. He says, my family doesn't believe in guns.
Our family kind of doesn't believe in guns.
Newsflash, dude. They fucking exist. You better get used to it, Grady.
Oh.
I bet you by the end of this, you're gonna wish you had a fucking gun, you goon. Some weird animal noises are heard, and then we start talking about how the swamp messes with people's heads.
People say the swamp starts to grow inside your head.
Also, people who go in don't come out.
You get confused, turned around. Sometimes people go in and are never heard from again.
He scares the shit out of Grady, who is sweating fucking bricks here. And he's like, so let's go in. And it's like, well, Will, you didn't really paint the prettiest picture to go in there, buddy. But Grady, he's bored. He hasn't watched TV. He's been playing catch by himself. He decides to go with the inbred child into the swamp. Grady follows Will into the swamp. Grady instantly starts spurging out about how the swamp is incredible and that dinosaurs lived in a place like this.
Dinosaurs used to live in places like this.
Cool, Grady. That's fucking kind of weird. Will gives us some dope lore about the Fever Swamp, and a practical effects spider tries very desperately to stay in place for the sixth shot. All of a sudden, weird animal or inbred people start screeching or making love.
Oh no, we gotta get out of here.
But it freaks Will out and he says, Grady, get the hell out of here!
What is it? Shut up and run.
And it's a creepy running away sequence. The Down syndrome hermit walks past, holding his crossbow. Which, me thinks that Peter Jackson might have stolen this bit for his little movie called Lord of the Rings. Seems a bit too similar, Peter. We're watching you. But the two stalk him. They're kind of figuring out what's going on, and Will drops even more lore. Will tells Grady that the hermit is why everyone has been disappearing, and that he's been wandering the swamp for 50 to 60 years.
He's been roaming around this swamp for 50, 60 years.
And that's when Will drops the biggest bombshell of them all.
The moon is full tonight. You'll hear him howling and you'll know exactly what he is. Nothing else on earth howls like that.
Like what?
Like a werewolf.
The hermit? He's a werewolf. Cut back to Grady's home. We get this nice shot of everyone at the dinner table. Grady talks about how Will touched him in the swamp that day. God. Grady mentions that he has a new friend and that he played a little game called Tummy Sticks in the swamp. Grady also tells his parents about the fever and how there's a werewolf in the swamp kidnapping people. And his dad, once again, is like, Grady, there's no such thing as a werewolf. No one believes Grady. They all call him stupid. They're like, get to bed, you fucking loser. But Grady wakes up that night in a very cold sweat. Heart pounding. He goes to the bathroom and takes his temperature and his pulse, which I was like, dude, how old are you? He's like, oh my God, my RPMs are crazy. Grady goes outside on his deck and there's some howling. So he starts running around the house and locking all the windows and doors. Grady is fucking spooked. He scared himself into an oblivion. And this reminds me of the first time I saw Paranormal Activity, exact same thing. Grady stops in his tracks as he hears the door creak open. Uh-oh, the hermit's here, and I think we all know what he wants. A giant beast jumps and attacks Grady, and it makes like a fucking horrifying sound. And you find out that it's just a dog. The sister comes in and like a sassy, dumb idiot, she says,
That was trying to kill you?
it's like, have you ever seen police attack dogs? Yeah. The dad comes in late and says, I heard someone screaming.
Did I hear someone screaming?
Which just once again shows you how much he actually cares about this family. Sorry, I was outside checking on the deer. The sister's like, it was Grady. He was almost licked to death. And the dad smacks her real hard and he's just like, you don't ever make jokes like that in my house, you hear me? His dad says that they can keep the dog. Basically just like, fine dude, go upstairs, put some peanut butter on your balls and let the dog go walk. Cut to the morning, Grady is playing with a dog that he now named Vandal.
Thinking about calling him Vandal on account of the way he broke in last night.
His mom says there'll be a full moon tonight.
There's gonna be a full moon tonight.
We cut back to the swamp and Will and Grady just got done torturing a cat. I'm just kidding. Grady asks, what's this stuff tied to the trees?
What's this stuff tied to the trees?
And Will, for some reason, knows about, like, which, if you're from the area, I guess you might know, but he's like, that's wolfbane. It's supposed to ward off werewolves.
It's supposed to ward off werewolves. Werefolk invented that silver bullet story themselves so poor people couldn't afford to hunt them down.
Werefolk?
I suppose you'd call them werepersons.
Will and Grady get into a tussle. After talking about the werewolves, they start wondering about what they should label them. Wereperson? Werefolk? Woke liberal shit that shouldn't belong in a swamp. Okay? Grady trips and falls down a hill, almost landing in a bog, which you don't know what a bog is. It's the center of a swamp. Had to look that up right now. Which, let me tell you, when Grady falls down, this scene as a kid, it scared me. I mean, he goes down, it's all slimy, it looks fucking horrifying. Really, like, the ambiance that they have in this scene is just, I love it so much. Will starts being a weirdo again and says that a kid got sucked down there years ago.
A couple of years ago, a kid fell in.
Which, dude, what is up with all these back-to-back stories? Why do you keep going down there? Yeah, people keep getting sucked down there. I'm telling you all the time. Also, do you forget that there's a pedophile roaming the woods again, Grady? Something grabs Will's hand.
Something's got me. Help me.
But don't you worry, our dear viewer. It was just one of Goosebumps' classic fake outs. Oh, it was just a shoe. Grady, you look like a fucking idiot.
It was only a shoe.
Vandal starts barking. Will grabs the wolf's bane and they leave. Cut back to the house and the sister is listening to music on her Sony Walkman and she sees a cute little rabbit. She is, oh, a cute bunny. And then she screams. And I mean, like, when you look at the bunny, I'm like, dude, it's dead. It's so clearly dead. She freaks out. We cut to the dad doing some kind of completely strange autopsy, which on rewatch here, the biggest thing that was really weird to me is why are there beakers? Different colored beakers. I'm like, what are you doing to these deer? And basically, the dad says, well, I think Vandal killed this rabbit.
It was mauled by some predator.
Oh, come on, Dad. Vandal didn't do this.
We should put him down. It's like, well, it's a dog and that was a wild animal. Shit happens. Like, why are we emotionally attached to this rabbit? I don't know. But the mom and dad want the dog gone. They say, Grady, enough's enough. Taking it back. I'm going to take the fucking 12 gauge and I'm putting it against his. Hey, do all dogs go to heaven, Grady? And as he cocks his 12 gauge shotgun, shh. Grady, do all dogs go to heaven? We'll get another dog. We're going to put this one down. But we cut to Grady and Will in the swamp. Grady wants to find the hermit and show that Vandal is not a killer. He's looking for dog justice. He doesn't care anymore. He says, give me the hermit. I want dog justice. They arrive at the hermit's shack and there's human skulls over his yard, which I thought, I was like, oh my God, he's killed people? Holy shit. Which, yeah, it's like, even if like we're, you know, oh, he is not a bad guy. How the fuck do you explain all these skulls, dude? They sneak in and investigate, but no one is home. Just kidding. Hunter Biden pops out. And whenever we get the close-ups of the hermit, he does look a lot like Hunter Biden, which is a lot of fun. Editor note, show the video clip of Hunter Biden smoking on the bathroom floor, except we probably have to blur out the pipe and shit. But Hunter Biden snarls like an animal and chases the boy in the swamp. Grady gets caught up in a net and Will ditches him, which, you know, kind of horrifying. Hunter Biden literally capturing you in a swamp, and then Will absolutely bails. You can't blame him. I think Grady's even like, just fucking go, dude. Hunter Biden does the weird, creepy smile, then takes Grady back to his shack. And Hunter Biden just grunts and growls. And Grady promises not to tell anyone if he just lets him go.
I won't tell anyone, I promise. I won't tell.
Once again, I feel like him not saying anything and just eating basically raw chicken is not looking good for the pedophile man. He's very creepy, and my God, wash your hands once in a while. But Hunter Biden looks out the window, and we see a huge full moon. Hunter Biden goes out and howls at the moon. And Grady escapes with a pocket knife and sneaks out the back of the house. Grady comes home and starts saying they need to leave the swamp now because the hermit is a werewolf.
He's a werewolf.
which once again, Grady, you've barked up this fucking tree before. No one listens to you now. Even though it is weird, he's like, hey, this guy did capture a net. I don't know what he was gonna do to me, but I was able to escape his shack. And yet people still are like, God, Grady, enough with this. You got caught and he gave you a massage. It's not a big deal. And what was frustrating about this scene was that Grady had to go and tell his mom that the hermit was a werewolf, instead of kind of just immediately coming forward and just saying, hey mom, you know the hermit? Yeah, I don't know if he's a werewolf, but he kidnapped me and he put me in a net in his shack and he showed me a gun. I feel like they have to listen to you then, right? Hello? They start hearing some weird noises and the werewolf picks up the deer and throws it out the window. Kind of funny. Which, from this point on, this has to be the most R-rated of all the Goosebumps movies. They go outside and Vandal is barking like a goddamn madman. And all of the deer are loose except for one dead one, and the one that's probably still bleeding out in their living room from being thrown into the window. The mom wants Grady to call the sheriff to put the dog down.
Grady, go call the sheriff to get rid of that dog.
Which, even for a kid's show, was like, even to have that put in there, pretty metal, pretty brutal.
I'm sorry, Grady, it has to be done.
And the parents are so fucking stupid here because they blamed the 37-pound dog for killing 2 full-grown deer or throwing a deer through a window? Where's the logic there? But Grady's the only one with common sense.
Mom, you can't think Vandal did this. Do you think a dog can do that to a fence?
Grady pulls a fast one on his mom and traps her in the barn. But then he hears Will scream. Grady goes to Will's house and we see that his house is torn to shreds and that no one can be found. And also, I just want to say that, like, not only was Grady's house pretty much trash, but also Will's house is trash. Every single one of these houses are absolutely torn to fucking shreds. And it's like, has the law enforcement not done anything about this? Where's the true detective fucking people here? I need to know. I had a burp. Oh god. Grady goes into the swamp and we get this awesome shot of Grady walking over the hill and there's this nice backlight with fog rolling over. The sister comes home and after her walking around the house for a bit, we get this amazing shot of this like mouth snarling and we get this amazing werewolf POV chase scene of the werewolf chasing the sister through the house. It's actually scary as shit. This used to actually give me nightmares when I was a kid. But the sister makes it out to the shed with her mom and the werewolf is basically beating the side of it. He looks like a fucking Neanderthal. But the werewolf punches through the wall of the shed and the mom breaks its goddamn hand and it runs off when he starts hearing Grady also be like, Will! Vandal! And the werewolf goes to attack Grady. The werewolf, though, is caught in the net and Hunter Biden steps out of the woods and for the first time in this entire fucking thing, he speaks.
Got him!
Which pisses me off so much because it's like, dude, why the fuck didn't you just say something?
I waited a long time for this.
But then we sit there and as the net goes off, the hermit, you see that's just all of the deer that got loose from before and he goes, run boy! Run boy! And immediately Hunter Biden dies. Hunter Biden gives absolutely fucking mauled and it's actually pretty effective in terms of, you know, the horror aspect of it. But as Grady's running, he also gets attacked, but the moon gets covered by fog and you hear the werewolf let out, ah! And it turns out that Will was the werewolf the whole time.
Will!
The inbred child had been living with himself and he's been the werewolf. He killed the hermit's family. Kind of crazy. I don't know. Pretty good twist. I liked it. And he sits there, he goes, get away, Grady. He has like a hamburger meat face.
I don't want to hurt you, but I can't help myself, Grady.
Grady's just like, God, well, Jesus, you're a werewolf? And it's like, Grady, why don't you get the fuck out of here? But no, Grady watches him fully transform back into the werewolf. And the werewolf immediately grabs him, picks him up, and he's just shaking him. And Vandal comes up, bites the werewolf a little bit. There's a nice scuttle. And then all of a sudden, Vandal jumps up, knocks the werewolf down, and the werewolf drowns. Will, the inbred child, drowns. 2 confirmed kills back to back. Isn't that fucking crazy? And it just immediately cuts to the next day, and they're like, oh, geez, that was kind of weird. Which I want to also point out that the next day, they're at the dinner table, and they're just like, well, that was kind of weird, huh, Grady? Your child just got done watching 2 people die in front of him. Also, we found out that werewolves are real. He probably has no trust in you as a family anymore. And we're just supposed to be like, all right, anyways, well, we got our deer back. Thankfully, they end this conversation by apologizing to Vandal, who looks very cute the entire time. We stan Vandal on this channel. And we get a nice shot of Grady's room. It looks like he's sleeping, but we get one of the best jump scares in the entire series where we get the werewolf doing I don't know what fucking sound they use for that, but play it again here. Hey, one more time for a good measure. We do that and it's just a dream. Grady wakes up and he's freaking out and he goes out on his porch once again. He looks at the moon and he begins to howl. And the episode ends with this kind of cliffhanger with being, is Grady, when he was getting fucking baby shook, I don't know if you want to call that, did he get infected? I don't know. Is he a werewolf? I don't know. But god damn it if that isn't a great ending. It is kind of cringe, you know. But still, it's a lot of fun. And of course, we can't forget that also R.L. Stine comes back and he's just like, wasn't that scary as shit? Have a good day, everyone. And he has the werewolf arm. I love it. I love it. And I think that this still goes on to be one of, if not the best, Goosebumps episode conceived. I think it was too dark. I think that they set the bar and they were like, we can't go that dark. That actually scared the shit out of people. Because every other Goosebumps thing, it always has like a layer of humor to it, I think. It's a little cheesy. It's a little campy. This one goes into full areas of terror and horror. It doesn't always have the best acting and it can be kind of corny, but all in all, the whole thing is pretty fucking frightening. So if you're looking for something to watch this Halloween's Eve, which let me tell you something too, during the holiday season, if you're not doing a Goosebumps drink and watch, you're out of your mind. You gotta do it. And I couldn't recommend Werewolf and Fever Swamp enough. You gotta check it out this Halloween season. But I look forward to talking about more spooky stuff. Maybe we'll hang out in my grandma's living room for a little while longer while she goes back to rehab or wherever she is. I don't know, she could be dead. I haven't seen her in years. Hope I didn't miss the funeral. Happy Halloween, everyone. Did you all hear that? What the hell was that? A full moon tonight. Oh no. Not a full moon. No.